Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, light warriors, old souls, evolving beings. It has been almost 14 months, and I have just returned to the United States of America after much work. The closest I could define it would be ley line work, but it also became missionary work. I ended up in flood zones and third world countries, and there's so much to share with you. I literally just got back. So my truck has been pulled out of storage after all of these months. My old computer has been turned on, and I'm here sharing with you because so many people are struggling at this moment. And so I will get myself organized and set up and talk a lot more next week once I know everything is operating and I can readjust to the time zone and everything else. But the most important thing to keep in mind is we are absolutely going through a phenomenally intense period at the moment. I was smiling because when I got back, I noticed that there were huge hits on my YouTube channel and the podcasts that I do. And most of the ones had to do with integrating the energies, feeling like you're losing control, trying to heal yourself. A whole bunch of the videos on med beds and healing yourself got hits. So I'm talking thousands and thousands. So people are obviously feeling this. And for all of you who have sent me emails, I will get to you. I assure you, I have a very long list and was not able to let everybody know that I was leaving. It was a series of events that came up that I knew I had to follow through on, and I will share the pieces that I can as we go forward. But at the moment, I'm really happy to be with you. I'm doing well. It has been unbelievable. So, what's happening right at this moment is remember back near the end of 2023, I had explained how we had already put in the new codes. We were bringing down the templates. And those templates, those new codes, that new programming is literally dissolving the old matrix. So for those who just happen upon this and have no idea what I'm talking about, please go back and listen to my old videos. I do all of this for free. I'm a one-person show. I do all the computer work. That's why there's nothing fancy here, just things that are literally happening that I want to bring to you and share with you. So I had been part of the 14th dimensional group and above who had been bringing down these templates in order to be able to dissolve the old matrix. And what happens is all the old programming, anytime somebody provides a loose or is committed to the old programming or is attached to holding on for dear life to old traditions, old ideas, you are literally connecting yourself to the old matrix. And we are no longer there. We haven't been there for a couple of years. The problem is that A, people don't understand the fact that these new templates were brought in. B, people can't figure out what's happening with their bodies. Are they sick? Are they not sick? Why is their head floating? Are they nauseous? All these physical symptoms that are going on, anxiety attacks. Some of you who may follow the Schumann resonance, which I highly recommend that you do, or the HP index, all of that will show you that not only is that happening in your physical body, but that's happening in Mother Earth. Now, the reason the old matrix and the old dissolution is happening is because it's like a computer system that no longer works. The great news is we as a collective, humanity, those who have chosen to ascend, those who have chosen to wake up, don't worry about the terms. Worry about the fact that you've kind of looked at your own shadow figure. You've chosen to see what's really going on in the world. You've tried to find answers. You know something is very wrong with Big Pharma and all those things they pushed on us on 2019 that I got tagged for. You knew something inherently was wrong because as a collective, this is the most monumental time frame that has ever occurred, because our ascension, should we choose that path, is guaranteed. The templates are in, the codes are in, but like any new programming, you have to try to figure out how it works. You almost have to consider yourself as a new baby being reborn, trying to figure out, wow, how does this hand work? Wow, how does this leg work? But you can't do it from the old codes, from the old programming. Your body is regenerating quicker than it ever has the ability to, if you allow it, let's put it that way, if you understand what is going on, and if you can try to relax yourself enough to go with the flow. But if you fight every little step of learning how each of these pieces work, you are going to burn yourself out. You will be fried, and your physical body will not be able to handle that. Now, that is not to instill any fear whatsoever, because the fact is, you may not know it, you have an entire team, and I always joke, a parking lot in the stars, a group who is looking after every teeny little transition you are going through. You so are not alone. Even if you don't have one person that you can talk to about this, you have an invisible team, sometimes visible, who is coming to you and watching you every second of every day, which could be a little weird, but they are helping reprogram you. And you may feel like you can't take any more, but you are not being pushed beyond what you can handle. So the more you can relax into it, the better you will do. So, for example, you may start to feel really strange sensations coming from, let's say, the left shoulder up into your neck. Now, the fascinating part about that, it may actually even feel like heart palpitations. This is not medical advice, but you're not having a heart attack. It may feel like an anxiety attack, a panic attack, but the fact is you are literally getting rewired. Those are, in a sense, codes. Those are rhythms. Those are frequencies, because we're electromagnetic beings. Those are literally coming in and repairing something for you that may have been attached to a past life. Heck, at this point, it could be the hundreds of thousands of years that the collective has been going through this massive trauma and programming that we've been through. So all of us, in a sense, not only are we getting reprogrammed, but we are collectively helping each other. Way back when, go back and look about the video that talked about how we are electromagnetic beings and that we are literally healing each other. If my thyroid heals, your thyroid heals. It is a fascinating collective journey. And the fact is, the light workers and the star seeds and the wanderers and the walk-ins and the largest amount of ascended masters ever are all here now. All here pushing Earth through. And Mother Earth is feeling it. Mother Earth is feeling every change, every transition. I was in the midst of floods, unbelievable energy, pressures. I will share more with you another day. But what happens is, when these things are going on, you are saying goodbye to people, to traditions, to anything that linked you to an unhealthy past as we move into the higher dimensions and new earth. You are in that process if you are hearing this message. So you may not believe it yet, but you are being shook up. I talk about the little sieve where you have to go through this terrible, terrible sieve and you drop out, and all those horrible layers that you no longer need get put in the trash, and you kind of like a little seedling have to start and build up again. Well, yes, we have been doing this year after year after year. I mean, a lot of people started waking up in 2015. You'll know that I've been doing this since, well, publicly the 90s. But a lot of people started reawakening 2015, then 2017. Then we know what happened in 2019. Then as people started to wake up and learn and transitions started to happening, we really did start splitting. Not only splitting from the old dynamics of unhealthy relationships, unhealthy people, unhealthy situations, but the whole awakening truther community even started to split. Because people were going into different directions, and it was almost like a whole new business, a whole new psyop had started for people. And I don't want you to look at this negatively or positively. I want you to try to just go with the flow and say, okay, with kind of a neutral stance, saying, okay, well, yeah, people kind of push things to another degree. So pick the pieces that serve you the best, put them to your heart, find out what your heart says, and move forward from there. But here's the exciting piece. Not only have the templates been laid, right? This piece that we are in right now, which is why we're feeling it so much, is like a spaceship getting close to the Milky Way. The closer we get to the Milky Way, the closer we get to certain locations, which I will share with you, but not today, is the stronger we as a collective are bringing in and integrating the actual new earth from the higher dimensional spirit. So what that means is we are constantly moving and flowing, but there is a destination. And that destination has been talked about for years as 2030. But each time we make one of these transitions that is so astronomical, we say goodbye to people, we say goodbye to our old lives, and we're left standing there going, well, what the heck am I going to do with myself now? You may even be at a point where you're like, I don't even know what I want to do with my life. Why am I even here? I can't figure a thing out. Those are all normal feelings. Do not be afraid of them. Do not be afraid of them, because each one of those challenges, each one of the problems and issues and devastations or deaths that come in front of you force you to look at yourself in a way and say, do I want more of this? Or do I not want to be part of that? And every time you choose the higher road, the road to be more truthful to yourself, more authentic, to do what you really love, the quicker you're going to get pushed to the next level. So there is a warning sign with that, because the fact is, if you're totally open and you're like, okay, let's go, I assure you, those energies are going to come in. And you can listen to some of my funny stories from 2023 when I was first experiencing extreme physical changes. Because what happens is, Every time you accept the challenge, every time you step up to the plate, just think of that parking lot in the sky, all of your guides, your oversoul, everything going, okay, here we go. We're in business. Let's help. The angels, the heavenlies, everybody is there going, yes, yes, they're doing it. They're doing it. But we're also taking these quantum leaps because it's not just me doing it. It's not just you doing it. It's not just your neighbor doing it. We are collectively doing it with the elementals, with Mother Earth, with the star systems, with our central sun. All of those things combined make an entirely new scenario. The only way that you can survive right at this moment is by going with the flow. Try not to take things too seriously. Try to feed your body what it needs. And do not let your ego and your mind stop you from smelling the roses, stepping outside, grounding, doing all of those things that I've talked about. And please, do not be the person, and I'm saying this with great respect because I understand how people get trapped in their minds. But the sun, the white sun, the sun behind the sun, if you look carefully enough, that is your incredible friend. You should not be shutting yourself in and blocking windows and not going outside. That is old programming. That's actually an insertion. Can't go into that more at this moment because I don't want to make it all that long. But the fact is, every time you're breathing with the trees, every time you're out in the sun, every time you're sun gazing, all of those things are so important. Also, there has been a lot of concern still with what is being seen in the skies, meaning things related to what people feel are still HAARP. I debunked that over 2 years ago because already there was a transition that was happening that we were actually getting help so that the things that we were seeing in the skies were not as negative to our physical body. Now, like all things, it's a growing process. So we have not gotten to the point where it is absolutely 100% all positive. But I can say 80% of the negative stuff we have moved beyond. Why? Because as a collective, as we have changed, as our vibrations continue to rise, we end up being able to force out the things that no longer serve us. Now, this is why things are still going to be bumpy, all right? We have some bumpy times ahead. Good bumpy, but bumpy. Bumpy where you just want to turn around and make sure that your own Merkaba, your own bubble is very, very strong and work with the energies, your inner self, your higher self, your oversoul. Even if you don't know or don't believe that you have guides, you do. You are making that so strong that whether you know it or not, in our dreams, in our meditations, we are connecting together, all right? And we are continuing to raise up beyond those systems. Those systems are literally imploding. They are falling apart. And over the last 3 years, even if you have not seen it, very good systems have been set up underneath. And they are going to start to be able to be seen. Not right away, but they are there. Very, very good people with hearts in the right place, oversouls connected where they need to be, help from beyond, People have been placed exactly where they need to be. And new people are really going to start to come up in different ways so that we can do the work that, in a sense, we've kept hidden for many, many decades because it was not safe to come out and share. It was not safe to be your authentic self. But all of that turmoil will come up. It will start to drop and fall away. The stronger each one of us is individually to let it go, the quicker we can move into our new lives. So, you will find, for example, the beautiful David Wilcock. I noticed just flipping through really quickly, trying to see what people thought. Many are still talking that this was a psyop and that he hasn't died. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but his physical body is gone. From everything that I can pick up and from what I know, I followed David because I started my work actually late 70s. So in the 80s, I was very much into Edgar Cayce. So it probably would have been the late 80s where there were people we connected with who were part of, let's say, trying to share knowledge and spread knowledge, very much like David did. And although we didn't know each other personally, we were already pushing forward in those things. Now, understand that as each one of us progresses and grows, we have a decision of when we opt out. You may not believe it, and it may feel terrible and tragic, and it is. He's a huge loss. I have so much respect for him. Although I had not followed some of the things that he had been doing over the last couple of years, because I had started to see some things that concerned me a little bit, but we all have the right to explore. And I think all information, for the most part, is great information. And he could talk about things from any perspective. So again, nothing but respect. But there are physical challenges. He had physical challenges. He was a type 1 diabetic, which can be healed, but it is not easy. We talk about that in one of my videos. Also, imagine just the mental pressure and trauma of all the things that he had been going through. So souls choose exit points. In this case, even though I often have turned around and said many of the players are elsewhere and not dead, in this case, I feel very strongly he is not with us here on this plane, that he did commit suicide. So, pushing forward, people are making decisions, their souls are making decisions. It is not for us to judge. It is for us to then pull that information to ourselves and try to figure out which direction we want to go in. And I assure you, with the help that is coming in, if you can open your mind and convince yourself, tell your body, tell everything around you that the new codes are here, that we can use them, that we need to test them out, we need to trust them, that you are on the ascension path, that you want to continue to be on the ascension path, you're going to get the help that you need to continue to be rewired, to make it through these physical ups and downs, what's happening with the Schumann and all of those other solar flares, etc., all the things that are going on. So you want to hold tight, understanding we are so close. This is an absolute rejoicing time because a lot of the new pieces, even foundationally, as far as not only spiritual practices, but even financial practices, legal practices, being a sovereign being. Many are firmly anchored, ready to step up. Peoples whose names you have never heard of, because many have been, in a sense, doing this quietly to make sure that we make it this far so that we as well can finally shine. It is a difficult life when you have information and have tried to share and tried to help people grow and tried to move forward when there are so many systems, so many people against us. For example, I will say in this case, I do strongly believe that the scientists were taken out negatively because of the fact that they were sharing things. So a lot of us starseeds are still tiptoeing. We're not totally sure. Can we come forward? Is it time to make the move? But intuitively, collectively, a lot of us felt the balloon burst. And now it's time that we can start with a fresh balloon, start blowing it up again, and start moving forward. These energies are a gift from the heavens. There is nothing to be afraid of. You are not going into an Armageddon, okay? Unfortunately, religious programming is going to really start to fall because once again, people will start to learn where misinformation was placed and how many people have lived on the lies of dogma that has been taught to us from negative states. The only person, the only being is you and source, creator, universe, whatever you want to call it. But the templates and this energy now are here to lift you, to rewire you, to move you. So, although I try not to get too excited because the muck of the day-to-day work and some of the things that I have just seen over the last 12 to 14 months are so difficult, horrifying, and the infrastructures in some of these countries do not exist. People are going without water 6, 10, 20 days. Flooding in certain areas is astronomical. People don't have access to food. Grocery stores are empty. So make sure on a daily basis you are grateful and feel gratitude for the basic things. I got to sleep in a bed with a duvet cover. Do you know what that was like? No more concrete block. No more one sheet. All of these things. I mean, I could have hot water in a shower. So remember, always be grateful for what you have. Every time a challenge is in front of you, think, how can I live in the now moment and not let this break my entire life? How can I still function and find peace along the way? I have gotten so many emails. I know people are losing people. I know people have died. I know people are fighting cancer and heart issues and blood disorders and all of those things. And the best you can do if you are looking at somebody else going through this is hold space for them. Give yourself the time that you need, no matter what that emotion is. But understand, and this is so key, their soul has a choice in this. There are some young souls that literally are just popping in for a period of time to take a look at what the earth is doing and to see how everybody is handling this energy. And they don't want to be part of it. They don't want to have to grow up and go through all of this. They want to come, analyze, see what it is, and go. Now, if you're a family member who has had a child and you are about to lose a child or have already lost a child, you will be devastated. But their soul has a plan, and you were in their soul plan. So if there is anything you can do with whoever these children or people are, is try to open up about how the soul will continue on. Try to give expansion and help to others. Try to just hold space. If people can't talk about it, just hold space and then clear your energetic field and go on with the things that make you happy, that make you smile, that bring love into your heart. I love you so much. I'm so happy to be with you. I spoke a little longer than I thought I would. Let's hope I can post this, and I will share more as soon as I get into a place that I'll be in for more than a few hours. All right. Have a great day. Love you.